Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy what you're about to see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support means a lot. Let's jump right in. At a previous job, management would play music to create a positive atmosphere. They included a variety of genres so everyone could enjoy something they liked. However, a single employee complained about occasionally hearing music they disliked, leading management to discontinue playing music entirely. That content creator who leapt into the alligator enclosure at Busch Gardens ruined the experience. Now there's a tall chain-link fence, and it's impossible to see the alligators anymore. The man who chopped down the most remote tree on Earth, and the woman who set fire to the oldest tree. Imagine the centuries of history those trees witnessed. At one office I worked at, we had a casual Friday policy. One Friday, a woman showed up in gym attire, and management, being overly strict, reacted by canceling casual Fridays altogether, instead of simply addressing her outfit choice. To this day, it irritates me. The man who tried to sneak a bomb in his shoe back in 2001 made life miserable for everyone. Now we're all forced to remove our shoes at airport security every time we travel. I'd have to say red baseball caps. It's difficult being a Kansas City Chiefs or Limp Bizkit fan nowadays if you're not politically aligned with conservatives. Edit. To clarify, I meant MAGA supporters specifically, not conservatives as a whole. I know plenty of conservatives who long for a return to a more reasonable political landscape and wouldn't wear those hats. The individual who falsely claimed vaccines cause autism has caused immense harm. That HP executive who said, "People love our printers because they're durable and reliable. Let's make them unreliable, prone to breaking, require licensed ink, and dependent on internet connections so they stop working without Wi-Fi." Every single policy at every company I've worked at exists because someone exploited something. So whenever you think, why on earth is this rule in place? It's likely due to one person ruining it for everyone else. Two people, not just one, managed to ruin the break room at my workplace. I'm a swim instructor at a YMCA, and apparently at a different YMCA in another city, two employees decided to hook up in their break room. As a result, upper management decided to eliminate break rooms at every YMCA in the area or state because it might happen again. Sure, it's possible, but why punish us? Take away their break room, not ours. It's infuriating. Now, when we're wet and freezing between lessons or after finishing for the day, we have to sit in the lobby or on the pool deck, taking up space meant for kids or parents. Thanks a lot, Mill Creek YMCA. You're the worst. If you want to mess around, don't do it at the Y. At a previous job, we had a hybrid work schedule 2 days a week. One employee decided to take advantage of their hybrid day by slacking off and going out. They missed a virtual meeting, and when their manager called, there were loud background noises, like they were at a shopping mall. The person eventually admitted they weren't working from home, got fired, and now everyone is required to be in the office 5 days a week. The name Adolf must rank high on the list. A man on death row in Texas, if I'm remembering right, ordered an enormous meal for his last request and refused to eat any of it. Thanks to him, last meal requests are no longer offered. A fanatically religious mom decided that Halloween was satanic, and because of her, the kindergarten costume parade was permanently canceled. I used to work as a dialysis nurse, and we had a new position created to handle emergency cases and late add-ons. The shift was from noon to midnight, which reduced the need for on-call nurses to only once or twice a week. Whoever took the shift didn't have to take call duty and had weekends off, which was a great break for everyone. Then a nurse in the rotation began starting her day at 7 a.m. instead of noon and clocking out by 5 p.m. When an emergency came up, she would ignore her phone, forcing others to cover her responsibilities. She did this every time her turn came up, and eventually management scrapped the position entirely, putting everyone back on constant call duty. The Tylenol poisoner is probably the reason for the absurd amount of packaging we see on over-the-counter medications, vitamins, and similar products. Now, everything has multiple layers, plastic seals, caps, sealed bottles, cotton stuffing, and often an additional box or clamshell package. What a terrible person. This might not fall on one individual, but for those of us with chronic pain from severe accidents or diseases, the people who abused opioids have made things incredibly difficult. I broke my neck, hip, and 20 other bones in a car crash, and my medications are so tightly controlled that even a 12-hour delay can leave me without relief. I'm not even on heavy painkillers, just enough to function. I feel lucky compared to stories I hear about cancer patients or people with lifelong conditions. Because of pill mills and irresponsible use, those with genuine needs are left struggling. During U.S. Army basic training, our platoon was granted the privilege of eating without waiting for the entire company to finish. However, this came with a rule. If one person finished eating, everyone was required to stop. One trainee who sat down early finished his meal before the rest of the table had even started. As soon as he stood up, the drill sergeant ordered everyone to get up, whether they had eaten or not. The next day, the same trainee repeated this, but this time at breakfast, leaving several people without dinner or breakfast. The disgusting things done to his bed and locker after that were unforgettable. Honestly, it was hard to feel sorry for him, and from then on, no one dared to stand early during basic training. Edit. I woke up to see this post gained traction, so here are some answers to common questions. What happened to his bunk? They used dirty mop water mixed with urine and dumped it all over his bed and locker. This was on a Sunday morning, the one day the drill sergeants usually leave you alone until noon. The guy wasn't even there. He had gone to church. Was it intentional? No. The first time, he genuinely didn't know because it was a brand new rule. The second time, I saw him hesitate, realizing his mistake, but the grumpiest drill sergeant caught him in the act of standing and sitting back down awkwardly. That was enough to end breakfast for the table. Thankfully, I wasn't at that table, but even so, I didn't pity him. Missing dinner and being left with grab-what-you-can breakfast would have made me join in too. Was he foolish? Definitely. Someone choked on a lollipop at my bank, and now we no longer get lollipops there. At one of my previous jobs, we were provided with full uniforms, shirts, pants, hats, hoodies, winter coveralls, coats, and gloves. However, they didn't give us shoes or boots. Apparently, years before I started, employees were issued boots. But one worker exploited this by repeatedly selling his boots and requesting replacements. He did this about 20 times before the slow municipal bureaucracy noticed. Once they caught on, they stopped issuing boots altogether. Edit. I worked as a park maintenance groundskeeper for Parks and Recreation. Edit 2. No, it wasn't like the TV show. My elementary school used to organize frequent trips to the local zoo until one boy decided to jump the fence and punch a penguin. I wish I were making this up. Artists performing on stage these days seem to be enjoying it less and less. Why? Because one idiot threw an object that injured a performer, and now it's become a trend. People keep throwing things like phones and even ashes directly at artists, intentionally trying to hurt them. This has made many performers hesitant to interact with the crowd or even perform at all. Edit. To clarify, I'm not talking about harmless items like bras or panties that fans used to throw. I'm referring to dangerous things aimed to cause harm. In 3rd grade, a bully got upset because I didn't want to include her in my version of tag. She told the teacher, which led to an announcement in front of the class, that my game was officially banned. Screw you and your giant onion-shaped head, Reina. Kanye West's downfall was entirely caused by Kanye West himself. That one student in class who just can't resist using their phone. Now all of them are kept in a box at the front of the room. The American genius who decided all cashiers must stand for their entire shift because that's what good customer service looks like. Clearly, when an employee gives terrible service, it's the chair's fault. Now, get back to your register, Samantha. I don't care that you're recovering from foot surgery. If I let you sit, then I'd have to let everyone else sit, and that would destroy the idea of good customer service. Firefighters always manage to ruin the appreciation discounts restaurants offer. One BBQ spot used to give a $10 discount off meals. If your meal cost less than $10, it was essentially free. Then someone demanded the remaining $2 from their $8 meal. Others started showing up in uniform on their days off, and one person even hosted a family reunion at a restaurant and caused a scene when the discount wasn't extended to the entire group. I'll never understand how some people can be so selfish and clueless.